Okay, welcome to another expert resources interview for the Compelling Communicators community. Today, we've got a really special guest that I am pleased to call a friend over the last few years. Her name is Jen Eriksen, co-founder of Eventraptor, a virtual event management system that helps coaches, speakers, and event hosts create more organized professional online events and reach a wider global audience, which is what we're all about. A passionate networker for nearly 30 years, Jenny believes in the power of meaningful connections, continued conversations, and helping people become more visible. Her mantra is, your visibility is your responsibility. Not as a pressure, but as an invitation to share your message, knowledge, and wisdom with people who need to hear it. So welcome along, Jenny.
Thank you so much. Lovely to be here. Friend Chris Hanlon. You're right. Absolutely. Met. I can't even remember when we met, but now we think of you as friend Chris Hanlon. So that's good for us.
Yeah. No, it's been it must be 3 or 4 years now. It's got to be something along those lines that we've been catching up. So, and you're a member of the community as well. So what you will know is that in the community, we're talking about communication, a lot of pitching and presentations, and the TEDx talk, obviously, that's a big thing for me. But for most people, the reason that they're doing these pitches, presentations, and TEDx talks is to gain that visibility. So let us know, Jenny, what does that visibility mean for people? What do you reckon?
Well, if I had, let's think about New Zealand currency, New Zealand dollar, is it a New Zealand dollar maybe? Yep. Or it doesn't matter. Let's call it a dollar or a pound. If I had a dollar or a pound or whatever for every person that says to me, I am the best kept secret, nobody knows about me, I do good stuff, I'm a great coach or whatever, I'd be a super wealthy person, be taking this both out for dinner tonight. But and this is the thing, you can be the best and great at something you do, but unless you are more visible, unless you go out there and you tell people get to know you and they get to hear about what you do, then you really are going to stay the best kept secret, which is a shame. And we had a bit of a global interrupt back in 2020 that made us all think, oh my gosh, we're never going to get out the house again, and this is it. But what it actually afforded us was the opportunity to press buttons, and because tech is wonderful, and actually meet people globally and realize that often what we talk about, what we teach, is not just relevant to our own country, that we can share things that are impactful all over the world. So we have an amazing opportunity to be able to do that, but we have to put in the legwork and get out there and be seen and be known.
Yeah, that's a good point, because I was using Zoom for coaching since 2015, 2016, somewhere around there. And I've been using it ever since then. So when it was quite amusing when the pandemic happened, everybody just sort of caught up with us. But it soon became apparent that I did it just to coach local people, because they couldn't always get out of work or get out of wherever to get to a cafe to do the coaching for these TEDx events. So we started doing it here. But I soon learned I could do the same stuff with people anywhere in the world. And then that's where my insomnia started.
The man who never sleeps.
Yeah, no. That's really good. So the visibility is really key. Now, I want to get into the networking of it all, because that's how I met you, is through Speaker Connections, and you can talk a little bit about Speaker Connections if you like. But I mean, that's on my calendar. It's like it's fairly rarely that I miss a Speaker's Connection. I think it was a period where I didn't go for a few months, but generally speaking, I rarely miss one of those. So tell me because you run this very, very well, I think, and you and your husband, Steve, and what is it that makes good networking? Because there's got to be good networking and bad networking. So what makes for good networking?
Oh, you see, you've led me into being able to say my favorite word, because as you know, my favorite word is specificity. So whether you come to Speaker Connections, and we're glad that you do, and we're always glad when other people show up to specificity, turning up with being able to tell people what it is you do, who it is you serve, what it is you're looking for, and having a compelling message that lands and resonates with people. Because when we go to networking meetings, a lot of people will think that networking is all about, I'm going to sell my stuff. So whether you go to our meeting, which is for hosts or speakers, or whether you're a plumber or whatever, you go along thinking, I'm going to tell people about my stuff. I did that 30 years ago. Steve and I had a magazine, and I thought the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, the accountant will be there. We're going to go along. They'll love the magazine because it goes to all these households. And of course, you very quickly realize that networking is about active listening. You're talking to people who are, if you like, your vehicle to tell other people about you. But if your message isn't landing and resonating, it's missing the mark, and you're just a nice person that somebody meets at a networking meeting. So the specificity is everything. And knowing whatever networking meeting you go to, knowing what to expect from that meeting, which is why at the beginning of our meeting, we do like what I call housekeeping. And I do it for a reason, because I want everybody to get the very best from the meeting. So lots of us have left meetings going, I didn't even know what to expect. Oh, you'll all muddle through. Oh, we'll get together. We'll do some breakouts. And then you don't know the time, or you don't know whatever. And you kind of muddle through. And people's time is precious. In a world where our attention spans are shorter than ever, we need to give people a really compelling reason to go and to know what they're going to get out of it. But you have to put the effort in. So I always think of messaging as a bit like Lego blocks, because Lego is universal. Do you get to talk about something for 30 seconds? There's your small Lego block. Do you get a minute or so? There's another Lego block. What does 2 minutes look like? So look at how or what you can do at that particular meeting and build accordingly. Okay, I'm only going to get a minute. I can't mention that and that. But whatever you do, has to be compelling, that it gives people an idea, a flavor of you, so they then want to know more, or they can at least have a snapshot of you. And when people say, I can't tell everybody what I do in 30 seconds, absolutely, of course you can't, but you can give people a snapshot of what you do, so they can then say, can we meet afterwards, or can we continue the conversation? I want to know more. So leave them wanting more, as they say in showbiz.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the things I teach a lot, particularly because I get the same thing on a bigger scale, I guess, with the TEDx, because it's like, I'm doing a TEDx talk on the thing I've done for 20 years and that I'm so into. You've got 15 minutes to talk about it, and they freak out, like, where do I even start? I can't even do an introduction in 15 minutes. Like, what am I going to do with that? And what I tell them is, this is not for you to teach people what you do. This is for you to ignite their curiosity, wind up their wonder, and get them thinking, oh, that sounds interesting. I want to know more. That's all
Absolutely.
It is. So yeah, absolutely. We're on the same page with that. No surprises there.
No surprises there.
So I like that. When you... So the biggest mistake is a lack of specificity. There you go. I get to use your word too.
There it is. There it is.
What other errors or mistakes or problems do you see with people trying to network? Like, they've got the best of intentions, we'll assume, but they're not hitting the mark, and they often don't realize why. What do you see with that?
Networking is all about, it's about serving as opposed to selling, and a lot of people go with the mindset of selling. They've definitely got a sales slant to things, and I think that when you go that, you automatically, when you go into breakout rooms, you're automatically very quickly seen as there's the salesperson. Not having a message that is cohesive, that really, again, getting back to the whether we're going with the dollar or the pound route or whatever, the people that say, I'm going to help you live your best life, be the person that you always wanted to be. I can't do anything with that. You've got to be able to give people in the room something that they can take and run with. And if there's ambiguity there, then people don't know how to help you, or worse, they make an idea of how they think they can help you, then go to introduce you to their trusted resources or people, and what they've done is inadvertently connected you to somebody that wasn't a good fit for you anyway. They've tried their best with the information that you gave them, but then the loser is actually the person in the middle who has made the connection, and somebody thinking, well, why would Jenny introduce me to that? It really doesn't make sense. Whereas as the person who's trying to serve, I'm trying very hard to put people together. So the more specific people can be, the better. And also less is more. And I'm sure that ties in to TEDx. We're thinking, okay, 15 minutes for TEDx or a minute for a networking talk. And you can almost see people go, okay, right, minute on the clock. And you can see people, and there's a big breath, and you know they're going to word vomit all over you at 900 miles an hour because they've just got to get that stuff in. And so less is more, and leaving gaps and leaving space and leaving something to settle with people, but also being curious as well. So when you go in as the person that you can see is waiting to speak, and we can see, even in these little square windows, we know that person. The person that goes in to actively listen to other people is always going to be ahead. And they are invariably the person that is looking, but they're looking down as well, because often they're writing something down, or you can see from micro expressions, there's a raised eyebrow. Oh, okay. Oh, you'll see a little nod of a head or something. And it's that. It's listening to other people, but making sure that you have, before you go in, that you have everything sorted. So you don't need to be getting ready to speak. You've already got that covered. And again, with TEDx, a similarity. You know, you're not going to go onto a TEDx stage and go, oh, put 15 minutes on the clock and I'll wing it. Have that prepared, know what to do, so that you are actively listening. So when it's, okay, Jenny, it's your turn, I know what to say. I'm not on tenterhooks, but I've been listening to other people. And we all love a team player, whatever team we play on. And somebody who is a team player, who really buys into the event, who really wants other people to get as much from the meeting as they would wish to get. That's always a win-win situation.
Couldn't have said it better myself. No, you're absolutely right with that. And I get quite frustrated with people. No, I'm not frustrated. I'm just like, that's sad. There's a better way. People that read the whole thing off, you know, you can tell they're just reading things off. They're not looking at the camera. They're not looking at me as an audience person or whatever. And I mean, it's fine to look away when you're thinking of something, because that's human. That's what we do in real life. And we want to make this as real life as possible. So rather than read and get the exact words right, it's far better to get approximately what you want to say, but with your personality, because you're the person we want to connect with, you know.
Exactly.
So 100%.
And it's having a message and saying it in a way that you would say, as opposed to a way you think people need to hear it. Because if you're trying to fit in, and you'll probably get this, you know, would obviously back and forth with what you do and what I do, when people try to perform because they've held somebody on a pedestal that does something similar, again, the micro expressions, the body language, it screams at you. But when you've got a message that works for you, there is a certain something, and you know, you've heard me say it, the je ne sais quoi, there is certain something, somebody's super compelling. You look at them and you think, I need to know them. And they may not be word perfect, but the essence of them, because they're comfortable with what they're saying. And as I say, it may not be word perfect or whatever, but there is just something about them because they're deeply comfortable with what they do. And we all try, and or say we all, people try to look for perfection or try to emulate somebody that they like the style of. But by being you, that's the secret sauce.
Absolutely. Couldn't say it better. It comes as no surprise to you that I have a little bit of a cheeky streak in me. And so if I try to be too professional, it just doesn't work. I just can't do it. I mean, I can act professionally in a professional environment, but if I'm trying to be that polished corporate person, we had a CEO for Telecom New Zealand that I met once, and he's Scottish, and he had quite a strong accent. And I just made the flip comment at some point through the discussion. Oh, it'll be all right. We'll understand you pretty much. And he was really taken aback because his accent was noticeable, but it wasn't that bad or anything. And then I think he got it that I was just joking, but I don't think anybody jokes with the CEO. My boss, who was also there, was not as impressed with that. But be yourself, because that is what is memorable, is the way you would naturally react, not you trying to be something you're not.
Absolutely.
All right, so beyond networking, there's the presentation side of things. And so I often tell the story of Pamela. Pamela Story was a speaker, I'm going to say 2016. She spoke at TEDx Ruakura. I might be mixing my years a bit, but and she was not a public speaker. She was the chair of the board of Kaivolution, which is a local food rescue service. And food rescue, I'd never heard of it before. What it is, it's saying we don't want organic produce to end up in landfill because it gets buried, creates methane, adds to the global warming, all that sort of thing. So food rescue goes to like supermarkets and stuff. The banana's starting to go a bit brown. They can't sell it. We don't want you throwing it into the food, into the dump. Give it to us. So they rescue that food. And then they go to somewhere like the Salvation Army and say, hey, make banana cakes. They're still good enough to make banana cakes with. Feed
Absolutely, it is, yeah.
Yeah. And it's a very cool thing. But it takes a little bit of explaining. So she had absolutely dreaded networking events because she'd go in and she'd start talking to somebody. Oh, what do you do? What do you do? I'm the chair of this Kaivolution. This is what we do. And she'd explain it. And she'd go to these networking events and she would explain it over and over and over again. And she'd come home absolutely drained, stuffed. I didn't know any of this. So anyway, her board nominated her to do a TEDx talk. We thought it was a really good topic, so she got accepted. She was freaking out a little bit because she wasn't that comfortable with public speaking. She's done a bit, but not that much. But she absolutely nailed it. But what was changing for her was that from that point on, as a TEDx speaker, every networking event she went to for the organisation, she said, I'll come along, but only if you can give me 2 to 5 minutes to jump up on stage. And so she would give a portion of that TEDx talk. So she broke it down. She had a full 15-minute version, which she could do, a 10-minute version, a 5-minute version, a 2-minute version, something like that. And it revolutionized her networking because every time she went, she'd go up and she's like, hi, I'm here for Kaivolution. This is what we do. This is why it's important. She had all the stats from the TEDx. It was literally taken off that thing. So it lived in her mind. And after that, she'd go down, they'd have the event, and people would come to her and they're going, oh, I know what you do. Would it be helpful if we give you this? Would it be helpful if you did this? And it got to the point she was like, I never do a networking event if I can't speak. If I can speak, I do that. All of this I am saying to tee up, why is it important? And tell us a little bit about summits and what summits are about and why they work. So take it away.
Alrighty, where should we start? But yes, I absolutely. I just circling back quickly to what you were saying. Absolutely, the ability to be able to speak longer about what you do, and it can just change everything. I love that story. Fantastic. Summits. What summits? Why should you speak on a summit? Okay. Well, summits are the bringing of people together to talk about a particular theme. So, for example, something we teach at Eventraptor is having a summit that is all around one particular topic. So often I've been invited to summits where it's been women's summit. It's going to be 5 days. We're going to talk about lots of women's stuff, etc., etc. And I've said, what sort of things are you going to be speaking about? Women's stuff. Well, with the best will in the world, I haven't got 5 days to give you to talk about women's stuff, because it might be until day 3 that you talk about something that I really want to hear about. So when we talk about summits, we talk about, again, there's that word specificity, about having a particular topic of a summit and having speakers that speak around that summit. So being in front of the right audience, speaking about what it is you do. So when we run summits, so I'll give you an example that will be relative to TEDx and speaking. We have a summit that we call Own Your Stage, and Own Your Stage is all about the specificity of speaking in your business. So when people apply to the summit, we might have amazing speakers who apply, but if they don't talk around that topic, or if they don't have something there that the audience could go, my gosh, that was 45 amazing minutes, I learned this, I'm thinking about that, I'm going to reach out after that, then it's not relevant. So when people say, and with the greatest of respect, if you get the opportunity to speak, just go out there and speak. I would say, if you get the opportunity to speak, go and speak to an audience that are ready to hear what it is you have to say. So Own Your Stage, for example, and we do need to run it again, is about the specificity of speaking in your business. So it could be what your networking message looks like, what it looks like to sell from the stage, do your slides suck, how to create great presentations, how to do a good TEDx talk, how to prepare for a TED. There you are. It's all around the specificity of speaking. Something that could do with your gut health before you step out onto the stage. Are you eating the right things? It's, there is a kind of tenuous link there, but it's not really kind of in your face. And again, as circling back, that because people have short attention spans, it's about the relevance, so that people go, oh my gosh, I thought I was just going to stay to support my particular speaker, but this is really good stuff, and look at that, and look at that, and look at that. And we've had people literally saying, gosh, I was only going to stay for a segment, but this is just great stuff, value bomb after value bomb from different speakers. So this is about you having the opportunity to speak in front of a relevant audience. People that really want to hear what you have to say. And of course, what that's going to do is build your authority.
Yeah.
People get very scared about niching down. Oh, I'm all things to all people all the time. I don't want to be niched down. I don't want to be pigeonholed. But by doing that, by actually being specific, you get to be known as the person that does that particular thing or can help with that thing. So in a way, it's a no-brainer that when you do that, people go, I heard you speak on that summit. Would you speak on our podcast? Or we've got a panel coming up. Would you do the thing? So it builds your authority. A summit will build your authority. It will also build your list. So when you're running a summit, you're going to be able to collect email addresses. You're going to be meeting lots of different people. And as we know, an email list is super, super important. When you speak on a summit, we say to people, we would love for you to be able to give a gift and a VIP gift. So a gift could be a small lead magnet, I don't know, a 5-point checklist on something, maybe networking, 5 things to do before stepping in a networking event. And then a VIP gift is something of of greater value, if you like, and not necessarily huge monetary value, but it could be a ticket to a masterclass. It could be, it could be a session with somebody to go through some ideas or whatever it may be. And then that should lead people into, when they hear you speak, thinking, my gosh, that was really great. How do I reach that person? What does it look like to work with that person? How do I continue the conversation with that person? And we've had lots of people speak on our summits that have said, oh my gosh, your audience, I did the thing, loads of people signed up for it. I've had people sign up to do my webinar that I'm doing, and I got sales from it. So this is a way for people to become part of your ecosystem too, part of your community too. And we've had people that have literally spoken on our stage, had people sign up for their high ticket offer. It's been the best 45 minutes to an hour that they've spent. So basically, we're saying to speakers, if you're going to speak at an event, don't just come at the 11th hour, because that makes us as summit hosts a little bit kind of, oh my goodness, they're not here. So, come and get the idea of what the event is about. Stay for your talk by all means. Q&A, sometimes there's Q&A afterwards when people ask questions in the chat. If somebody has finished and the next speaker is on, and we say to somebody, could you just answer some questions in the chat? But the amount of people that have, because their message has resonated with people, because their content has been compelling, because their gift and their VIP gift is something that people have automatically wanted to download or take advantage of, then people want to continue the conversation. It's led to people then wanting to be part of their communities. And that it doesn't matter what the topic is. If you have something that is relevant to people, then it's a win-win. So let me give you an example here. We have somebody who runs a summit on calligraphy. So we automatically think of summits as being, business or women's lifestyle or whatever. Calligraphy. The last event she had, I think she had over 300 attendees. It's a summit on a computer about handwriting. And the speakers have extra things so they can literally show people how to write things. Audience participation, people joining in. This is how you would write your name in this particular style. It was mesmerizing. Now, I haven't thought recently about learning calligraphy, but when you watch it, it was like, this is amazing. And you can feel yourself getting closer and closer to the screen, because everybody spoke about different styles, different structures, different ideas, different concepts. It was riveting. Those numbers throughout the whole event stayed pretty static, because speaker after speaker spoke about calligraphy, just different aspects thereof. It was entertaining, it was interesting. There were lovely people giving out things like worksheets or ideas or maps of how to create, writing. Chef's kiss. So that's calligraphy, but it doesn't matter what it is. But if you've got that kind of format where you've got the right speakers, and of course speakers who will take on board the requirements of being on a summit. So when you speak on a summit, which is, people will deem, invariably is for free. I've been asked to speak on a summit. I'm not paying anything to do so, but what we're asking you to do is to make it a win-win for everybody, promote the summit. So don't just turn up on the day and do the thing. Tell your people, hey, I'm speaking on this summit. It is about this thing. I would love for you to support me. There's going to be other things. And then it becomes a win-win for everybody. So that's a bit of a snapshot there. I could go on forever.
Yeah, I will say, I'll add something to that too, because I did a masterclass for you. When did I do that? Was that was this year, February or something, eh?
February, yeah.
Yeah.
Loved it. I think it was February, yeah.
Yeah. So I got a really good client out of that. But the point I want to make was I did not sell in that masterclass. It was 100% value. Well, that's what I wanted it to be anyway. 100%. This is how I do things with TEDx speakers. These are the things I think are important, because that was the focus. It was a TEDx thing. And this is the process that we go through. And I jam-packed it in, which maybe it was a little overboard with how much I put in there, to be honest, in 45 minutes. But I jam-packed that in. And that's the problem I see, is that often people get an opportunity to speak in a summit and they treat it like it's a webinar where they're there to sell. And I think that's a huge mistake. Sure, at the end you want to say, look, if you want to get more information, sign up for my newsletter, sign up, in my case it was join my school community, or whatever, and 100% you should do that. But you don't want to be selling throughout the whole thing. It's not a sell environment to do that, particularly in a summit, because you will stand out, but you'll stand out for the wrong reason. In a good summit, if you try and do that to sell. So, and don't hold back. Give away your best information. And I think that's more true now than ever before, because in the world of AI, where AI will answer every question anybody's got, anything you hold back, it just shows that you're not, where's the value of you? I can get ChatGPT to answer that question. So, give them everything you've got, because ultimately when they start working with you, if that's the point of your talk, it's you that's the difference. And so give them everything you got. Anyway, that's my soapbox.
I love what you say, because it's very true that we get scared about giving information away. But what we're doing is we're giving people things they need to think about. But we are the person that will help them do this. So if we structure a talk right, we're generous in what we give. And then if we have things in place for people to be able to continue the conversation and invite people into a conversation afterwards. I always think about cake. I'm always thinking about sweet treats and ice cream and that kind of thing. It's a bit like when you're giving the ingredients, but you're not giving the structure. So if you and I are going to make a cake, and I have the way to do it, and you just have the ingredients, and we just both have the ingredients, the chances are my cake is going to be better, because I know that the eggs go in first, and you didn't know that. I know that the oven has to be at 180 degrees, and you guessed it might be 220 or whatever, and you're going to get some semblance of cake, but the structure is important. But you're giving away the elements when you're talking, but the structure and the expertise comes from you afterwards when people reach out to connect with you. And you're being seen as a person who is, whenever you turn up, you always give such great value, and that travels. People who go to summits are often people that go to other summits or hold summits. I saw you at this particular summit. You were really great. Would you come and talk to our people? Would you? So it is that, like networking, like summits, and and so if somebody applies again to another summit, it's a no-brainer. It's kind of like, people just love, last time we'd love some more, a different topic, talking around what you speak about. We would love some more of that. And with your talk, it was tremendous value, but again, it kind of proved that we'd only really scratched the surface, that actually there are different aspects that you could talk about around the same topic.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I'm going to plug a book here. I get a lot of my coaching clients to grab. It's called The Referable Speaker by Michael Port, and I think it's Andrew Davis are the authors. And the concept of the book, The Referable Speaker, is that when you're a paid professional speaker, most of your gigs come from people seeing you at other professional speaking engagements, and they go, oh, that was good, I'll book him for mine. And so when you are doing your talk, keep that in mind as well, because not only do you want to give good value for your audience, you want to give great value for the person running the summit or the event or whatever. And you get paid back in turn, because somebody at that summit will see that guy turned up on time, met the brief. The brief was there. They met the brief. They kept the audience entertained, but more importantly, they were there and they did their stuff on time. I'll have them. If you over talk and you talk for 10 minutes beyond your time, you might feel good about that. The audience won't feel great about that. The next speaker won't feel great about that. And if they're running a summit in the future, you're not going to be on their list. And the event host, I can tell you, having been an event host for live TEDx events and speakers going rogue on us, pulling out what little hair I had left, not a happy story, and that person will never get another invite from me. I just can't overstress that. And we're not talking about brain science here, rocket science. It's pretty straightforward stuff. No,
it's you just don't think of. There is a structure. You have structured a summit for a reason, for people to speak at designated times. And it's quite interesting that Steve and I actually had a meeting yesterday with somebody who was talking about our services. And as it was coming to the bottom of the hour, I said, well, we're going to let you get on. You want to be respectful of your time. And he went, Oh, I can tell your summit hosts, because literally, as I could see the clock ticking, so automatically it's kind of embedded in us that you're not going to go over the time. And it's interesting just to go back on summits versus paid speaking. Now there are different ways of speaking, and they're all they all have their merits, absolutely. And the reason to have something in place for a summit where you are not, in inverted commas, paid to speak, is because if you don't have something in place, you're just a jolly nice talk. So people enjoy what you have to say, but they don't have a compelling reason to contact you. And with the best will in the world, even if we think we've just talked about wonderful stuff, life gets in the way. People hear other speakers, I must get round all that person that spoke at that summit. So that's why it's important to have something in place. And it's just about being remunerated in different ways. A paid speaker is remunerated because they've turned up, they've delivered what they need to. There are different parameters. Sometimes when people are paid to speak, they perhaps can't promote their services or their book or their something. They're just there to, give the information. And it's really worth, rather than just going, well, I only do paid to speak, I'm not doing anything else, exploring all of them. So you can cherry pick different opportunities at different times, rather than just be, just one particular way. That then serves you, because we all have versions of keeping the lights on or putting shoes on children's feet or whatever. So it's important to, have a talk online, have a talk in person, and everything else in between.
Oh, absolutely. I'm laughing away while you're saying that, because the first couple of times I spoke, well, quite a few probably, I really didn't have anything to offer. I was just doing it because I was passionate about it. And it didn't take a lot to actually put something in place. And in my case now, it's the school community. I can always say, join the school community. You'll get there's some free stuff there, and you'll get to hang out with some people that also like to improve their communication skills and what have you. So, and it didn't take a lot to get something together. So if you haven't got something together and you're passionate about your topic, do put something together, because I won't say they were wasted opportunities, but there could have been better outcomes from those opportunities I took a couple of years ago. But it wasn't my focus, which was fine. Okay, well, that's pretty much our time. So, Jen, I'm going to put some links below to Eventraptor. I highly recommend anybody interested in doing some speaking joins the speaking, what do you call it, the roster of speakers? In
our speaker directory, you mean?
Speaker directory, that's the word.
Speaker directory, yes, indeed.
I'm on the speaker directory with Eventraptor. It's a free directory, so I highly recommend you do that. We'll also put a link to, if we can, to the how to come to Speakers Connections. So if you've never been to Speakers Connections, it's a free, regular networking event, a couple of times a month. I usually am there, as I said, but it's great to see who else is there, get a feel for the whole speaking environment and stuff, and great networking, great practicing. That's the thing about networking. It's all about the practice. You may be a bit crap at it at the beginning. Surprise, surprise, we're all crap at everything at the beginning. So, you'll get better. And the way to get better is to turn up and do more of it. And I don't want to minimize it, but the idea that you can jump on and talk to people around the world without leaving the house, and it's just so convenient, you should absolutely do that as often as you can. All right, so we'll put some links below. If you've got, maybe, have you got anything that we can share that people might want? Your own lead? Yes, I
have actually. We've just been, see, this is the thing. I'll just quickly tell you. I always think that in life, when you go to the hairdresser, you always go to the hairdresser with the messiest hair, because they are the ones making everybody else look good. So we have literally been the people that go, you should do this, you should do that. And Speaker Connections actually was a VIP gift. We were the people that ran our very first Own Your Stage Summit and went, well, we haven't got a VIP gift. What are we going to do? We'll put a networking event on, because we had 110 people that bought the VIP upgrade. That was something else about summits. We'll talk about that another time. And that's how Speaker Connections came about 4 years ago. So it's kind of like, what are we doing up to date, in terms of lead magnets and gifts for people? So are you making these client attraction mistakes? So this is this is something that we can offer people. So if you're looking for more clients, you're trying everything, you're throwing spaghetti against the wall and thinking nothing is working, we're going to give you some ideas where your systems might be letting you down. Because let's face it, we would, although we like strategies for getting out there and everything, at the end of the day, having clients is great. So there you go. That's a hot off the press little gift for you. So
cool.
Yeah,
We'll link that down below. And is there anything else you want to, is there anything I didn't ask that I should have asked? Anything you want to get off your chest? Anything that you want to wrap up with?
Oh gosh, I mean, well, we could speak forever. Like TEDx, it's a subject that we could talk forever about, and same with summits and networking too. But as you quite rightly said, get out there and start and do something. We've had people that have come to Speaker Connections that have been like a rabbit in the headlights. I don't know if anybody watching has seen the film Wayne's World. There is a point where Wayne stomps off. I mean, Steve and I look a bit like Wayne and Garth, I have to say. And poor Wayne is holding the chair saying, I'm having a really nice time. And we've had people that come to Speaker Connections that have been those people. It's almost, you can see they're like a rabbit in the headlights, especially when we get a good turnout. We've had 70, 80 people turn up, and that can be overwhelming, but those same people have stayed the course and then have stayed for what we call after hours, where we just kick back and we always just say hi to people that just want to say hello and tell us what they're up to, saying, I've just been on 4 podcasts in the last month and it's really brilliant. And you remember them from the beginning being, oh, what am I doing here? Is it even worth it? So, make a start somewhere. Figure out what a networking meeting is offering. Not all networking meetings are equal. Go and try things out for size. Any good networking organization will let you try things out for size. Not everything works. Find the places where you like to be, expand on that, and then that can lead you into longer talks for things like summits, and then that compelling thing that sits in your brain, like, I really want to do that TEDx talk. So there we go. That's how you lead from 30 seconds of networking to TEDx without pausing for breath.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
you're right. When you start going to some networking events, particularly online ones, you end up, I've got a bit of a patter. Now, each networking event has its own feel and focus and all that sort of thing, so you will adjust it, but the core of it is you and your offering anyway, so it won't be a lot of adjustment, and you'll get better at doing all of them by doing many of them. So cool. Thank you so much.
As you say, I was just going to say, as you say, just to wrap up, it is about, when you were talking about your Scottish corporate guy, it is about being able to say your message and feeling that sense of it's okay to speak just as I am, not fitting into some are very sort of cookie cutter, and there's a certain structure that doesn't appeal. I'm not going to name any names, but it doesn't appeal to people. And at the end, you've got to make 475 referrals, so you end up saying my sister's next door neighbour's dog might want a plumber in Julember 2027. So find those places where you feel confident and build on that. I'll let you finish off now and we can say goodbye to everybody.
No, I really just want to thank you. When Jen and I can get together, we can talk for a long time. So this actually feels really short, but we've been going quite a long time. So thank you for your time today. Thank you for everything you do, really, with Eventraptor, and giving us a place to be with Speaker Connections. I enjoy catching up with you twice a month at least.
Twice a month at least.
Yeah, twice a month at least. So yeah, thanks for everything.
You're very welcome. Thank you so much. Lovely spending time with you as always.
Just because you have expert knowledge, it doesn't always mean you have expert influence. It's time to stop explaining and start captivating. Sparking the curiosity, winding up the wonder of your audience is the first step to influence. Access the Captivation Architecture Framework, which has been developed over a decade of coaching over 100 TEDx speakers and dozens of startup founders who are pitching for investment. The Compelling Communicators is a free community on the school platform where you can access resources and work with others to hone your message and build your influence. Join for free today, and I'll see you in there.